You're watching the Daily Dodge Pregame Show.
And welcome into Beaver Dam High School as we have wrestling on tap tonight as Beaver Dam welcomes in the Lodi Blue Devils. We're going to be coming back here shortly. You have Ryan Gerber joining me on the play-by-play tonight. High school sports on Daily Dodge TV is presented by Columbus Family Dental, Hometown Glass and Improvement, and the Beaver Dam Unified School District. It is also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Columbus Family Dental, Hometown Glass and Improvement, Kladowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Pizza Ranch, Park Village Shopping Center, Richards Insurance, Preferred Dental Partners, Napleton 151, Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly, Gruber Law, Air Care, Jerry's BP, Silica For Your Home, Moraine Park Technical College, Beaver Dam Unified School District, White Construction, and Spartan Flooring. Make Moraine Park Technical College your first choice for an education tailored to your success and growth, with campuses in Beaver Dam, Fond du Lac, and West Bend. Visit morainepark.edu/first choice. And make sure you stay up to date with Beaver Dam Unified School District at bdusd.org and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Beaver Dam USD. Again, we're going to have Beaver Dam Wrestling coming up really shortly here in about 15-20 minutes. But we're going to step aside now for a 4-minute break. And when we get back, we're going to be talking a little bit with Ryan Gerber as we get ready for some Golden Beavers High School Wrestling. You are watching tonight on Daily Dodge TV.
Are you ready for peace of mind? Chad Guzzi here, owner of Air Care in Beaver Dam. If you're tired of unexpected repair bills, you want to sign up for our Total Care plan. It ensures top performance and prolonged life of your heating and air conditioning equipment. Air Care's Total Care customers receive annual inspections as well as a reduced maintenance rate plus a 10% discount on all service repairs. Air Care, big enough to serve you, small enough to care. 920-356-8860.
There's power in your smile. It can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. Columbus Family Dental is committed to protecting your grin ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental, now accepting every kind of smile.
Shop the pig!
Don't get caught with an empty pantry and fridge for the playoffs. Your Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Mayville has you covered. Snacks, liquor, meat, and everything neat. Stop on over for great meals, deals, and more. For any sort of festivities at this time of the year, make your hosting a clutch performance. There's even plenty of goods for games on the road, too. What are you waiting for? Visit your Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Mayville today. Shop online at foxbrospigglywiggly.com.
Cheer. Now cheer louder. Any accomplishment worth doing is worth doing with all your heart and soul. The entire team at Hometown Glass and Improvement knows that dedication, time, and respect can lead to greatness. When practicing free throws, running for a touchdown, or installing new windows and doors, it is commitment to something larger than oneself that creates a legacy. So keep cheering for your hometown team. Hometown Glass and Improvement online at hometownglass.com.
Jerry's Automotive in Beaver Dam is a champion of our local schools. Team up with Jerry's Automotive by pumping your gas at their Spirit Pump, where 2 cents of every gallon is donated to a local school each month. Jerry's Automotive also provides exceptional vehicle service and repairs and a great selection of convenience items. Visit Jerry's Automotive Center WI.com and on Facebook. Jerry's Automotive, 700 North Spring Street in Beaver Dam, across the street from Beaver Dam Food Pride.
The gang's all here. Chris,
Adam,
and Abby Kladowski, here to say Kladowski Real Estate is honored and grateful to have been voted Dodge County's best real estate firm, best realtor, and favorite realtor for 2024.
We love living and working in Dodge County, all of the wonderful people we serve, and the opportunity to give back to our community.
Thank you, Dodge County. Thank you.
Kladowski Real Estate, your trusted real estate advisors.
Are you ready to score big on home comfort? Cheer on our area athletes with McKinstry's Home Furnishings. From plush recliners to luxurious sofas, stylish bedroom sets to cozy area rugs, and all the accessories you need to make your home a winner. Whether you're outfitting your man cave or upgrading your living room with MVP style, McKinstry's has you covered. Game on with McKinstry's Home Furnishings, where winning starts at home.
Year after year, McKinstry's.
When it comes to a winning lineup, turn to the selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam. Their team goes the extra mile to provide a winning experience, from hassle-free financing options to exceptional customer service. It's like having a dedicated cheering section cheering you on in every step of the vehicle purchase. Give the team at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam a call at 920-885-3301 or visit napleton151.com and find new roads with their winning inventory.
You're watching the Daily Dodge pregame show.
Welcome back here to Beaver Dam High School. We are at Parents' Night tonight, as I'm now joined by Ryan Gerber, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that is Beaver Dam Wrestling's knowledge here for me, because it certainly isn't coming from this side of the aisle.
That's quite a build-up. I don't know how I can we should just stop the show now.
See, last time we were out here was before Christmas, and next to you, you had probably 55 Hall's cough drops. And I noticed that you still have that thing with you today. How are we feeling after the holidays?
Well, worked really hard knowing this was coming up and wanted to be ready for the Lodi duel and felt really good over break. And then, what do you know? We started school yesterday and the cough just decided to come back. So I don't know what's going on there. Forces of nature, I guess. But I've got about 30 Halls today, so I'm down a little bit. And we're ready to go. And how can you not be for this particular duel? This is a matchup between obviously the Golden Beavers here, but against a true blue blood. No pun intended, because they wear blue. But this is one of the true story programs in Wisconsin. 3 Hall of Fame coaches leading this program, and there's not enough to say about Lodi. They're always tough, they're always physical, and they're a team that will always come out and compete, always has a great program. So when we were able to get them on the schedule as a non-conference a couple years ago, this was a big get for us, and I know both schools really value this duel, and it's good wrestling.
Yeah, and it feels a lot like other sports where we're starting to see that shift in non-conference. You actually want to go after some of these big programs to build some experience against some guys that you're going to be seeing down the road.
Yeah, so for all of the people out there that have some issues with seeding in the postseason, and we certainly have some concept of that here in Beaver Dam. Wrestling was one of the first sports that really got true seeding for the state tournament. I was part of that deal on the Coaches Association, and what that did more than anything else, we really thought it was all about getting the best matchups and getting the top 4 wrestlers in the semifinals. But an effect of that came from the head-to-head matchups that you have in the regular season. So it really values going out and wrestling tough competition. A loss is still a loss, a win is still a win, but wins against good wrestlers, wins against good teams certainly has a huge draw. And I think there's a lot of sports that could learn from wrestling on the seeding component.
No, you're absolutely right. As a big football guy, it feels like it's a common talking point year after year, but now you are right. You get iron sharpens iron. It's much better to get a tough matchup early in a year like this versus getting those cupcake matchups. You're getting a 15-second pin, and you really don't learn anything.
Yeah, and we're doing that not only in a duel like this with Lodi, but we rewind the tape back a couple weeks when we hosted the Wickersham here. Teams want to go to invites where they can get those head-to-heads, and maybe it's a team like a Union Grove that comes from the southeast, and they're going to say, we're going to go up to Beaver Dam because we're going to see schools that we don't normally see, but they're Division I, and we know we're going to see those kids at the state tournament. We can get those head-to-heads that we normally wouldn't. So it encourages travel, it encourages good competition, and at the end of the day, that's what's good for the sport, and for fans, that's what you want to see.
And you're going to get to see some of that here very shortly. We have a great one on tap for you tonight as the Lodi Blue Devils are here to take on the Golden Beavers. We're going to step aside for another 4-minute break and be back for more pregame coverage as we prepare for more high school sports. You are watching on Daily Dodge TV.
American drivers overpay an average of $368 per year on their auto insurance. Why? Because, well, insurance is hard. It's complicated. It's time-consuming to get quotes from multiple companies, so we overpay. Or we call Richards Insurance in Beaver Dam. Make one call and receive a quote from a great company like Auto Owners Insurance. The team at Richards Insurance will literally do all the work for you. So if you could be saving money each month with an Auto Owners Insurance policy, you'll know about it. How much will you save with Richards Insurance? To find out, call Richards Insurance or stop in at 123 North Spring Street, downtown Beaver Dam. With offices in Columbus, Watertown, West Bend, and Oshkosh. With over 50 employees and hundreds of years insurance experience across 5 offices, you'll get full-service counseling with no obligation. Your auto owner's insurance carrier is Richards Insurance in Beaver Dam. Call 887-1615.
We'll be there with you.
Richards Insurance of Beaver Dam.
The winter weather can play havoc on your hands and hair. Fear not, the folks at Wonder Nails and Spa has just a ticket for you. Call 887-4374 and let them pamper you. Let them chase away those winter blues. Let's talk hair. Long, beautiful hair, shining, whoa, I digress. The team of cost cutters will put a shimmer and shine to your mood, and their retail products are the best in the business. Call 885-0437 today. That's why you hear everyone say, I shop Park Village Shopping Center, and you should too.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we'd like to thank our Swedish friends for bringing the buffet to America. They called it the smorgasbord, but it was a success anyway. So we started our own buffet and loaded it up with pizza, chicken, sides, salads, and cactus bread. And you can even request any pizza you want anytime you visit. We call it Buffet Your Way, because smorgasbord your way, well, that doesn't rhyme at all. Pizza Ranch.
Check out your local Pizza Ranch in Beaver Dam, Watertown, or Waupun, or check out pizzaranch.com.
Did you know that each person's teeth are as unique as their fingerprints? That's why at Preferred Dental Partners, we don't take a one-size-fits-all approach. Preferred Dental Partners takes the time to customize each person's treatment plan to fit their personal needs and offer options to help them achieve their dental health goals. So whether your dental needs are few or many, give Preferred Dental Partners a call at either our Horicon or Beaver Dam location to set up your appointment to create your own personalized care plan with our amazing team.
Play garage music. Silica can make any home a smart home. Whole home wiring, speakers, and smart control make your home an oasis that anticipates your every need. Whether you're seeking comfort, entertainment, peace of mind, inspiration, or just a moment of tranquility. Existing or new construction, Silica has the skill to make any home a smart home. Silica for your home.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Stop in and see everything that our store has to offer. We built it just for you. We have mattresses, box springs, power bases, bedroom sets, furniture, living room sets, dining sets, everything that you would need to complete your entire home. We've got our interest-free financing and a really great local staff here to help you. So you've got all local people here to help you out from start to finish for anything that you would need. So stop in, shop local, and save big with us.
White Construction is cheering on our student athletes in the community, and they want you on their winning team too. They're expanding and looking for passionate individuals who want to build their future as a team. Join a company that values teamwork, excellence, and community spirit. They're now hiring for multiple positions around Wisconsin, including general labor, fieldwork, and heavy equipment operators. Visit congruix.com to apply today and step up to the plate with White Construction. Let's build something great together.
You're watching the Daily Dodge pregame show.
And welcome back here to Beaver Dam High School as we are celebrating the parents tonight, as you are able to see as they are surrounding the mat here. I'm joined now by Ryan Gerber once again. Ryan, awesome little show of parent support here before the match tonight.
Yeah, you know, Parents Night, a lot of sports do it, but when it comes to wrestling, a lot of sports talk about family. It becomes a saying, but in wrestling, oftentimes it's you versus the world. This is a sport that goes through a lot of criticism, a lot of scrutiny, and so for wrestling, families, wrestlers in general, it really becomes a family, and it's us against the world. And when you're a wrestler, when you graduate, you're still a wrestler, and people recognize that. And you'll find in the wrestling community that these parents that form bonds on those long Saturdays in the gyms, they still get together, they still have a special bond years later. So when you talk family in sports, the sport of wrestling really means that. And yeah, we do fight, just like family, just like brothers, just like sisters, but it really is a special thing. And so Parents' Night around wrestling, and you look at what they did here. They circle the mat. They can see each other. You know, it's different. It's unique. It's special.
And you brought up those long Saturdays. That's something that sticks, I think, with every family in wrestling, because I remember those days where you're going to these meets at 6 a.m. Yep. Who's the one driving you there at these? And it's typically your parents at that early age that got you into this. So it's really cool that kind of get that moment to get to embrace that and appreciate that with one another.
Right. It's a unique challenge. It's a unique commitment when you choose to go out for wrestling. And again, there are a lot of physical sports. There are a lot of sports that challenge you mentally. This one challenges you mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, all at the same time. And by the way, your match is going to go 6 minutes. You're going to have a big long break, couple hours, whatever, and you're going to have to come back and do it again. And I had a football coach when I was wrestling say, you know, it's a tough sport. You can see it. But the toughest part is how do you get yourself up, bring yourself down, bring yourself back up, and do that 5-6 times in a day. These guys, when they go through that long Saturday, it's a grueling thing. If you've never done it, you just don't know. And I can tell you, Sunday mornings are always rough getting up. Football's rough. You feel like you got hit by a truck when you're done, but wrestling, you feel like you got run over by a truck all day long.
Yeah, it's that fatigue factor. You remember going to bed, and I know you wrestle too. When you sleep like a baby after these long days, and even with these duels, as we're getting to watch the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers get ready to enter now, it's something different. It's what makes wrestling so special.
Yeah, it's a unique sport, and we want each and every person that's out there to give it a shot, because wrestling helps you in so many different facets. But that's also something that makes it unique. Not everybody can do it, and that's not to bag on any other sport, because every sport is special, and everything our kids do in different ways is special. But this one, if you can do this, if you can wrestle, everything in life becomes easier.
And ain't that the truth? Yeah, I mean, when you're on your own, that's another thing too. A lot of other sports don't have. Yes, you're competing on a team, but to be out there by yourself, it is you and that opponent across from you for 6 minutes, and sometimes 5-6 times a day.
Right, and unlike a team sport, if you have a bad night, there's no one to blame but you, and you're a lot of times competing right in front of a full gym. Your mistakes are magnified. There's no hiding out there. There's no, well, I got a rough night. I'll make sure I give that extra pass, or I maybe go missing on defense for a couple series. Like, it's all out there. That's what makes it so tough. But that's why when you talk to football coaches, they like having wrestlers. First of all, because they learn to tackle all winter long, so it's great off-season work. But also that mental toughness comes with it. That's something we don't talk enough about anymore these days in any sport or really walks of life, is that mental toughness piece. We know that life is tough. Things are going to be difficult. How you react, how you bounce back is a huge driving component of how successful you are in this sport. Will build that mental toughness that you're going to need.
Well, and speaking of reactions, I would love to get your take on how this team is going to react today after a tough, close duel loss right before Christmas to Milton.
Yeah, and certainly tough, as you mentioned, and shout out to Wade Bates, who did that show with me. You were back in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I didn't know, like, if I did such a poor job, you decided to fold up shop and go back. But yeah, it was a tough loss, and certainly was a roadblock in the way this team still has aspirations to win a conference title, and they still can. They're going to have to win out in their conference duel and then have a great conference tournament day in order to do that. But Milton came out very reminiscent of the Milton teams of old, and they got their wins and their bonus points where they needed to, and Beaver Dam did, and we just came up a match short. Now, they didn't have a lot of time to lick their wounds because they had the Wickersham shortly after, which they took second at, had a really nice day there. And then they were up at the Bi-State over the Christmas break, and the Bi-State has 70 schools there, and we're going to take a break for the national anthem.
And we're going to step aside for 60 seconds here on Daily Dodge TV.
Are you ready for peace of mind? Chad Guzzi here, owner of Air Care in Beaver Dam. If you're tired of unexpected repair bills, you want to sign up for our Total Care plan. It ensures top performance and prolonged life of your heating and air conditioning equipment. AirCare's Total Care customers receive annual inspections as well as a reduced maintenance rate, plus a 10% discount on all service repairs. AirCare, big enough to serve you, small enough to care. 920-356-8860.
There's power in your smile. It can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. Columbus Family Dental is committed to protecting your grin ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental, now accepting every kind of smile.
Cheer. Now cheer louder. Any accomplishment worth doing is worth doing with all your heart and soul. The entire team at Hometown Glass and Improvement knows that dedication, time, and respect can lead to greatness. When practicing free throws, running for a touchdown, or installing new windows and doors, it is commitment to something larger than oneself that creates a legacy. So keep cheering for your hometown team. Hometown Glass and Improvement, online at hometownglass.com.
Welcome back here to Beaver Dam High School. Just stepped aside for the national anthem there. Brian Gerber, I know we were talking just a moment again about how this team responds. How do you expect them to look tonight against a very strong Lodi side?
Well, you know, again, they came off the Bi-State, as we were talking before the break, and Bi-State's probably the second most prestigious tournament in the state of Wisconsin outside the state tournament, obviously behind the Cheesehead. 70 schools there, and the Beavers went up there and finished third in the Division I schools, amongst Division I schools. So out of 25 schools, they finished third, and they finished ninth overall, which is their top finish ever at the Bi-State. So, I mean, how are they going to respond? How are they going to bounce back? I think they're going to be just fine. Now, they do have some holes in the lineup. Some guys are out of the lineup tonight. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult. But this staff has shown that they've been able to adapt when things have happened this year, and that's what wrestling and dual meet is all about. It's no different than any other sport. Somebody's out of the lineup, you next guy up, and that's why you train more than just 14 guys in your lineup. You want to build a room of guys that can go out and compete. So we're going to be starting at 150 pounds tonight, and that actually for Lodi is their top wrestler, Brandon Dorshort, who finished fourth last year at the state tournament. Wow. And finished just last weekend fourth at the Bi-State. And if you place at the Bi-State tournament, that's a good indication of where you're going to be at the end of the year at the state tournament. So that's going to be their top wrestler. Now, certainly, you know, as we've talked in the past shows, you know, guys can move around the lineup. So that's what they have in the book. That's what they have starred. That's what I have circled. But
that doesn't mean that he's wrestling 150 tonight.
As many people out there that are listening have probably said before, he's probably going to be wrong. We'll just see. And, you know, that's the one thing that stepping away from coaching, you know, you have your weigh-ins, you have the lineups. You look at, you know, shortly after the weigh-ins, you go run away and you look at where the, you know, things are and where guys weighed. Can they go this weight? Can they do this? And you should have a whole binder of where guys have wrestled, where they've bumped up. So, like, Coach Winker and his staff have a pretty good idea where Lodi's going to match up. They have a pretty good idea how they're going to counter it. But you know what? It's all, you know, how it falls, and anything can happen. And, you know, it's kind of like juggling a bullpen.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and shout out to Coach Kiefer, who always is watching along, and it's kind of like juggling a bullpen. You never know who's going to come out of the pen.
Well, and this is something that you were telling me the last time we talked back at the Watertown duel about a month ago, but this has kind of been an evolution in the last 10 or 15 years of where the duels and the team aspect has taken more of a heightened role, which is why we're seeing those adjustments, if I'm understanding it right?
And years ago, you still saw an adjustment here or there. However, I think it was more commonplace where teams said, here's our 13 guys or here's our 14 guys, and this is how we're going to wrestle it. And you kind of had an idea. And from a fan standpoint, that was something you could set your watch to. I think you're seeing more and more in the last few years some moving around. But that's not to say it didn't happen. I just think with where we are in the sport, and there's some great disparities between the very top and everybody else, given from the academies that are available now and what everybody's doing. And so I think there's more juggling of lineups and more gamesmanship. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
You know, tomorrow you're going to see Coach Ladrin coach his team against in this gym against Wanakee, and there's going to be gamesmanship in that lineup too. Coach Pogorelik's going to have his hockey team out there. There's going to be gamesmanship in where those lineups are and what lines are out. That's part of coaching. And as I've said on here before, these coaches are paid to put their kids in position to have success, and they're going to do that.
Absolutely. We're seeing that adjustment. And it's not, again, to your point, it's not a bad thing. It's, if anything, brought strategy that wasn't in the sport before into it, which is a pretty cool thing to say.
And before we get started here, Mr. Ron Arndt is our official. He's one of the best that I've been around. We're very fortunate to have him down. Folks, we are in desperate need of officials, not only in the sport of wrestling, but every sport that's out there. Please help us keep sports available for our kids by helping us out, put on the stripes. Now, that doesn't mean you have to jump into varsity wrestling right away or varsity competition right away. Help us out at the middle school, help us out at the JV level, but we need more officials. If you're interested in helping us out and continuing this sport, giving back to the sport and providing a sport for kids to do down the road, come see me. I'll help you get signed up. We've got about 5 high school kids that are signed up and doing some middle school and youth stuff. So Dorset here, 4th place finisher last year at the state tournament against Dylan Hahn here. Nice high C there, finish up to his feet, looking for a double leg here. He's got to just keep driving across instead of trying to lift all the time. I think sometimes guys get really caught up in trying to lift and making it look pretty. You just cut this corner over here, you're going to have success. But then again, if you lift like that, it looks really pretty. You know, that was something that as we were trained into Forest and gold medal Ben Peterson used to say, you know, you don't need to lift, just cut that leg across. And but again, takedown, 3 points, 3-point near fall, an escape. We're up 6-1. Lodi's up here 6-1. Hahn is going to go from a front headlock position that was given up into a single, but Lodi's got you see a good shot there, that ankle being hooked, arms behind the shoulder there. That's a takedown all day long, and he's looking for cradle. And you're going to see cradles out of this Lodi team. They're going to be physical, they're going to be relentless, but then when they get on top, they're going to be looking cradle. So guys on the bottom from Beaver Dam, they need to keep their head up. If you keep your head down on the mat, you're helping him, you're giving him a cradle. So you got to keep your head up off the mat, keep your head away from your knee as much as possible. 3 near fall there. All of a sudden, it's 12-1 before we get to 25 seconds left in the match.
Now, question for you now. If you are Hahn here on bottom, down 11, are you playing at this point, you're okay with the tech fall? You're just ready to, hey, just don't give them 6?
100%. 100%. You have a pretty good idea of who you're wrestling, and you know that Lodi's looking for a pin here to get 6 points on the board. So you can give up a tech, give up 5. That may not seem like a huge difference, but look, it's basic math. 5 is less than 6, and if you can keep that extra bonus point off the scoreboard, you just helped your team. And this happens a lot. It's 15-1, by the way, going in the second period. Lodi's going to choose top. The question, why would Lodi choose top here? Because if you go neutral and you get a takedown, you tech them. If you choose down and you get a reversal or an escape, you tech them, the match is over. If you choose top, you can focus right now with a 14-point lead on just getting to a pinning combination to get that 6 points. And if you're Hahn, you know that. You know, hey, I'm down 14. I cannot give up a pin here.
Now, at this point, too, if you do get a quick escape, or if you were able to do escape, now can you get a quick takedown if you go, excuse me, if you get a quick takedown, if you're Lodi, is it going to be almost like a continuation?
So if Hahn gets an escape here, gets to his feet and gets an escape, he'll be down 13 points, right? And a takedown now is 3 points, so you get that. So unless the takedown goes right to his back into a pinning combination, which is what you would see. So if Hahn gets an escape here, you're going to look for Lodi to throw, to try to take him from feet to back to get that pin. Any other thing is going to end the match.
Right on the spot, done.
Right on the spot. So that's why you can see this match is slowed down considerably in terms of points. And here's another thing. This is something that hasn't been considered here. Dylan Hahn from Beaver Dam just got called for stalling. The first call is a warning. The second time he gets called is a point. If he gets a stall call against him, well, and now we're going to find out. It's basic arithmetic, right? We're up. We're down 13 here. Lodi's going to get the takedown. 3-point, and that's the match. They should be stopping this match here for a tech fall.
And there's your whistle.
Yeah, and you could see that, like you can see Coach Endress over there for Lodi. He's like, okay, we're neutral. Got on a shot. It was a good shot, but he didn't take him down to his back, so he didn't have that opportunity to keep him on his back to look for a pin. So instead of getting those 6 points for a pin, we're at 5 points for a tech fall. Again, nothing, it's great. You want bonus points, right? But when you have one of your better wrestlers out there, you're hoping to get 6. And those 6s add up. It's no different than basketball. A 3-point shot adds up a whole lot faster than a 2-point shot, right?
Yeah, and at this point, to your point, you're wrestling one of the best competitors in the entire state. If you're flipping on the other side, you're looking over here at Hahn, and you're looking at the Beaver Dam side, 5 points. It doesn't seem like a great result, but you're probably pretty happy that it wasn't 6 here.
Right. And so now you've got for the Beavers, Easton Warden going out there at 157. And I'm just waiting for the call on Lodi here.
Now, have we gotten to the pound forgiveness to this point?
Yes, so I'll hit that up here. I didn't get that. But what they have listed at 157 for them, Alex Bruning, a junior, 11-4, coming in against Easton Warden, who, again, is one of Beaver Dam's better wrestlers here. So the script kind of flips here. Easton's coming in with a 26-2 record, finished third at the Bi-State this last weekend. So the script flips a little bit here, right? So you've got one of your better wrestlers out there. Now you're looking for 6. So if you're Lodi, you want that opposite strategy. Don't go to your back. And a nice slide by there to get a takedown. That was a rule change a few years ago. You don't have to take him back. Hands on the mat, no weight on the hands, so it's changed. But Warden is really tough in this situation in that sit-out position. And you see he got a reversal there, and you say, well, why did he get a reversal? He's not around him. He sat out right into a cradle. And you can see we've got this cradle locked up. Now we're going to his back. If he can step over and get, which he did, which he gets a little leverage, and the Beavers need this point here. They need 6 right now. This is one of those guys that needs to get points for him. And again, Lodi's doing everything they can to keep out of pin call. The ref's got a great view of that shoulder, that left shoulder there, staying up. Warden just is in an awkward position. Now he's reestablished himself on top, got his weight chest to chest. This, again, 39 seconds to go here. He's doing everything he can. He's getting a little stretched out. He's jumping over the top, running a half now, switching from that cradle lock into a half Nelson. He's got a reverse half. He's got him flat there. 26 seconds to get a pin. Warden's got to keep that head up. He's got to keep lifting that head, and there it is. 18 seconds left in the first period. The Beavers respond with a 6-point pin.
And that's your point. That is a big point advantage there from 2 of the better wrestlers on both sides there. You come with 6 for Beaver Dam versus the 5 for Lodi.
Correct. And so, again, now each have won a match, but the point total is different, 6-5. And again, those 6s add up a lot faster than the 5s do. And I know that might be the most obvious thing I'm going to say, but this isn't hard. We're just adding by a few points here.
Absolutely.
Like, bring your toddlers to the TV, and we're learning math right here. Add by 3, add by 4, add by 5.
Yeah, forget that. What was it, like a Lulu show or something that's going out right now? It's all the bright colors for little kids.
I don't know. We're watching number blocks on YouTube. I guess it's a thing, and like I'm over it, but my kid's learning to add, so it's pretty impressive.
They're probably watching at home right now, learning the ad as well, knowing you and your family.
Well, he's up at Christmas. I'm here. He's up with my in-laws doing Christmas, so I don't think he's watching.
Fair enough.
But we'll see. But the Beavers are going to send Landon Groh out at 165 here. And as listed, Tony Omasobi, a senior, coming in tonight, 10-5.
All right. As we get going here, 6-5 Beaver Dam as we enter the third match of the evening.
And the one thing I really like about the difference in Landon's wrestling this year compared to last year, he's just a lot more aggressive, and by aggressive I mean physical. And you can see how he came out this match right now, just pushed his opponent right back. And it's kind of like boxing. If you get that first shot in, you get a couple of those good blows early, that sets the tone for the rest. No different than if football team, Coach Lindy's coaching this team, and we run the ball right down your throat to start the game, right down for a scoring drive on the opening series. That sets the tone. Well, in wrestling, if you come out and you're physical and you give that guy a good pop and you're snapping on that head and you're establishing physical dominance early, that pays off later in the match.
Well, you and I spoke about Mean Streak a few weeks ago. Some of these are just awesome kids, great kids. How do you even, as a coach, kind of get that mean streak out of these guys?
The kid, well, first of all, it comes down to how do they practice. And I know it's cliche for coaches, you practice like you play, but in wrestling it really is. If you get after it, if you're physical, if you're mean in the practice room, you're going to do that. Now, part of it is how you're coached and the style you wrestle. You know, you can wrestle on the edges, you can have all these fancy moves, you can go to sweep singles where you're really wrestling on the edges and really wrestle finesse style, and that's great, and you can be very successful with that, but you're not going to be physical. The opposite is just come out and start pounding and throwing forearms and really coming down hard in the head and just being physical. You got to coach that. But here's the other piece of this, and this is no different than any other sport. You're either that way or you're not.
Yeah.
And the role of the coach is to bring that out of them. You're not going to be a hard-hitting tackler if you don't like to hit, right? And we hear stories about that all the time. With football, and the same goes for wrestling. I will say this, with Landon, he had a great summer. Wrestled a lot with the national team out in Fargo, and I think that really helps when you wrestle top-level competition and are on the same team with top-level competition. That style wears off, and you're not going to beat great wrestlers without having a little bit of physicality. Lodi got the choice there here in the second period. They're going to choose neutral, which nothing happened in the first period, so I guess here we go. But you know what? Hey, with the three-point takedown, let's wrestle from our feet. And look at that. So Lodi made a mistake there. They level dropped. He lost balance. And what Grow did, because every movement is forward and he's constantly attacking and being physical, he was able to come through with the front head, snap, go around, and now we're up 3-0. 20 seconds into the second period.
Well, and as we are in the second period here, as we get a escape quickly for Lodi, when you are in this position, you have a lead. If this goes to the third, once you saw that takedown, does that change at all what coach is going to do, what he wants him to do on top, bottom, neutral?
It can. I think traditionally the book says if you get choice in the second period, you defer to the third period. The reason why you do that is you want to know how many points you need in the third in order to win the match. I always like defer in the second period and then choose down in the third. That way you can get an escape or reversal. Remember, if you're in the bottom position getting escape, well, I can get 1 point for an escape and then get on my takedown, and then you're just adding points up, right? The things have changed a little bit with three-point takedown, with near fall, and now because it's so easy to score points, you may want to choose top and try to pick up near fall points and get some bonus. I should mention this, and I didn't mention it earlier. Landon Grows, a junior, 21-6 coming in tonight. He's on an ankle wizard, by the way. You don't see this very often. Kid from Lodi is really deep on that ankle. So what he's doing is he's hooking that arm and grabbing his ankle and putting a tremendous amount of pressure on the Lodi kid's shoulder and arm, which didn't allow him to make any more progress around the body, and that's why he ended up giving it up and getting back to his feet. Looks like this Lodi kid wants to wrestle with, some Russian arm types, some 2-on-1 series, and that's great old school wrestling. But you got to turn that into points. You can't just stay locked up and be down 2 points and not use it. So anytime you're tying up hands, that's great, but you got to score from that. And part of it might be because Groves had a great year this year, 21-6, like I mentioned, just finished 6th at the Bi-State a week ago. So, maybe some of the strategies, keep it close, tie him up, slow him down. We are heading into the third period. It is only 3-1.
As we have a McKinstry's Home Furnishing blood timeout here.
I love that, by the way.
You like that?
I love that. Like, who wouldn't want to sponsor that? That is great.
You got to have the timeout call. And when we're in wrestling, what are we going to have? We're going to have blood times.
That is fantastic. A McKinstry's Home Furnishing blood timeout.
You got to have it here, right?
That is fantastic.
I know it derailed everything, man, but it's beautiful. as we get the choice to go down, as you were kind of preluding here about a minute ago.
Yeah, so, here's the strategy here and again, we'll see what happens here. You take what you get, you react to what's out there, but the idea here is if you can get an escape, now you're up 4-1. Get a takedown, now it's 7-1, and you're building that potential for bonus points. Again, going down in the third period, choosing that bottom position allows for more scoring opportunities, unless you're really tough on top. If you're a hammer on top and you can get turns, then by all means go top. But so many kids at the high school level aren't that way. And so a lot of wrestlers in high school are control riders. If they can get to a cradle, if they can get a leg in, they'll get some points. But for most cases, they're control riders. Now, collegiately, it's totally different because
the riding time
changes everything. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'll be honest, this is totally unedited opinion. I hate riding time. I hate it. Let's wrestle from our feet. That's why freestyle is so great. If you can't get away within 20 seconds laying on the mat, we're back on our feet. Let's score. It's kind of like the 90s MLB stuff. Like chicks dig the long ball. They want to see the home run, right?
They don't want to see the bunts.
Yeah, well, then let's go. We want to see offense.
And we're starting to get a little here, at least attempted here from Lodi. He's trying to get that turn you talked about.
And Groh got called for stalling there, and largely because he's got his head facing down. He really hasn't moved out of this quad pod position. And the official here I've known for a long time, he's going to call stalling. He wants action on the side. Man, and look at that. So guy shoots in, he keeps his head up. You cannot do that. Groh catches him, puts him to his back. He's not only going to get 3 takedown, but he's going to get swipes in there for near fall. We'll see how many he gives him. He gave him the 4-point variety on that. That's a huge swing. So now it's 10-1 with 16 seconds left in the match. So before we were talking about just getting out a decision. Now we're talking about a major decision. Again, bonus points make a huge difference. That's a critical mistake. When you shoot in, you've got to have your shoulders down and in. They cannot be up like a sail. You keep your head and shoulders up like a sail, you're going to get tossed.
And it goes back to what you were talking about in the first 2 matches, too. Those points add up, and just like that, it's a 5-point team advantage for the Golden Beavers.
Huge swing there. And again, you might be saying, well, what's the difference between a normal decision loss, which is 3, and bonus points 4? Well, in a tight match against good programs, all those team points matter.
And we had been just talking, like you said, 3-1 with about 45 seconds in a match. I was going to ask you simply if that's where you kind of know you have a stalling warning in your back pocket, do you kind of just sit on that knowing, hey, you know what, let's get out of here with a win?
Yeah. And again, Lodi was down 3-1. They chose to let us go. And the thought process there is let them up to their feet so we can get a takedown, possibly tie this match up. Well, he was aggressive. He did exactly what Coach asked him to do, but he didn't execute, and that's the difference in that match right there.
As we move on to 190 now with the Golden Beavers up 10-5 on the Blue Devils.
And, of course, Gavin Vitens comes out at 190 pounds. And what can we say about Gavin Vitens that we haven't already said?
Coming out the bat to the bone, too. I love it.
Big snap down there. He's wrestling senior Grant Byer, who's 3-9 coming in. I'd love to see 90-pounders, 215-pounders, heavyweights really utilize that snap down. Get him moving, get him bumping. Then you're basically just taking his head and shoulder and snapping him as hard as you can to the mat. That's a great setup. And even if you don't get him to the mat, that sets up a great double leg shot opportunity there. So love to see him coming out. What I'd like to see here, because it's just past the 130 minute, is let's go back to our feet. Let's get a couple takedowns here. Let's get moving here. I feel like we have the physical advantage here that we can look for some turns later. Let's work on some stuff. Let's break a good sweat in that first period. I'd like to see our guys working a little bit, especially at this time of the year, because I'll tell you, you can condition and practice all you want, but that match conditioning is something special. And so, he's getting back points here. By the way, again, if you are tuning in now, you haven't tuned into our first 2 broadcasts, you'll notice that the Lodi wrestlers off the mat completely based on the old rules, but the new college rules allow for this. Vitens has got his toes on the inside of the circle. The Lodi wrestler's off. We just need 1 point of contact, which he's keeping with his left toe there, which now came off. That's a mistake.
I saw earlier his feet were up. Is it a plane thing, or did the ref just for a second not be able to see there?
He's got to have a point of contact there. And that's a little bit of a mistake. 35 seconds. He's up 7-0. Again, he's going to go for that arm bar series again, which is great. He's going to grind on top. He's looking for a power half here and just try to maul him. And again, for Lodi, you know what you're up against in this match. You just don't want to give up a pin. So this wrestler did a great job on the edge of the mat, not giving up the pin. He's trying to do everything he can to not give up a pin, but Vitens is just so strong and long. He just pulled into a near side cradle he's going to step over, and this is where you want to see. If you've got a near side cradle, this is where you want to be, right over the top. I'd like to see him get off his knees and stay on his toes to get maximum weight, and he's going to run out of time there.
Now, as a coach, is it almost at that point where it's 7-0 with 12 seconds left when Gavin started the turn? Is it almost too close if you're going for that 6 points, or you just go for it?
You just go for it there. Lodi's going to have a choice here to wrestle, choice in the second period. They're going to choose top because, well, you got taken down. You weren't able to get away. You got turned twice. So choose the third option here, see what happens. He's going to choose top. He gives up I guess you could call a short sit, a long sit. That's going to be 1 point. That's a 12-point. Now a takedown is 3. And so this is what we talked about earlier, okay? He gets the tech. That's 5, and that's great for your team. But, you know, if you're Coach Winker, you're looking for a pin there for 6. So, hey, you know, wins are wins. But, again, we've talked all night long so far about bonus points. We'll see where if that point comes back to linger.
Now, I may have a dumb question for you. But in a position where you are up 12, where you know a takedown there is going to get the tech fall, is there ever anything that you can do where you're almost like, or I guess even going into that, you say focus on a reverse, don't get an escape, anything to that effect?
You know, if I'm up 12, if my kid's up 12 and we're on our feet, I'm telling him, get to an underhook, get that body lock hooked, and send him for a ride, put him to his back, and get a pin. But that's just me. That's just me, because I'm looking for 6. And we were always a team that was able to throw and wrestle there. And again, there's nothing wrong with teching guy. A nice single leg shot by Mason Grow. This is the older Grow, Mason Grow. He comes in at 21-5. He's a senior and finished 8th at the bi-state. Now, you might be questioning how in the heck did he get called for a stall call there? So early he was active. Well, he's got to let that ankle of the bottom wrestler come free. He's only got 5 seconds to release it, and if he doesn't, that's going to be called every single time. But I think Mason's going to be just fine here. So he's got a breakdown here. He's really just on a tight waist and just horsing him down, and he's hooking up that armbar. Mason's done a great job this year, and again, like his brother, the one big thing that I've seen different this year from past years is how aggressive he is and how physical he is. And when you're wrestling up at 215 pounds, or he's wrestled up at heavyweight a couple times for the team, you need to be physical, you need to be aggressive, and he's wrestling like you want him to. Now you can see Lodi got called for stalling because he's just laying on the bottom, not trying to get away. Grohl was trying a farmer series there and just lost it, and that's going to lead to a reversal, and now it's an escape. So we're looking at a 4-2 matchup with 52 seconds left. Mason just needs to get back to that good shot. He had a great shot, and that Lodi wrestler you can see is leading that leg. Now we went to the other side to the outside single. He needs to stay with this, keep circling that side. He's going to cut him down, which is great. Come over the hip there. He's going to get 3, excuse me. Get his head up. Keep coming across. Keep that arm trapped into a half. He had a really good look at a turn there and just couldn't keep that half. So it's 7-2 with 22 seconds left in the first period. And you can hear Coach Winker yelling, get on your toes, drive, you got short time here. And yeah, you want to keep the pressure on. And this is another opportunity here, Wally, even if you don't get a turn here, if you can ride and just drive, you're going to wear this guy down. Those things come back later in the match.
And I just was going down to take a picture a second ago, and you can hear Coach screaming, you have 6 minutes. To your point, you're going to wear him down. Just keep driving.
Yeah. And so, again, we have 6 minutes, and you don't need to panic. You don't need to rush anything. And this, quite frankly, is good for our guys to get some extra minutes on the match. Again, conditioning in matches is so valuable. So Lodi got choice there in the second period. They're going to choose down again. Why? Well, you get a reversal, you get 2. You get an escape, you get 1. Back on the offense, you can really double up your points pretty quick. But not a bad spot. Mason's good in the ride position. He's been able to turn people this year, but in the past he's been a real good control rider. So this is a position where if you're Lodi, if you're going to choose down, that's great, but you don't want to get stuck underneath. And he did, by the way, get called for stalling late in that first period. So he has got to get moving. He's gotten up to his base, but he's right back down to his bottom. And Grove's doing a great job working that arm bar. He's got the arm bar hooked on this side. He's reaching for that right arm to try to trap that arm, and if he's able to do that, he's going to be able to get a turn here. He just isn't able to get to that arm. There's a couple different options he can do here, but none of them are great when your opponent gets to his knees there.
Now, what is a ref looking for a stall call? I know it's up to like the ref's discretion. Is it just like feeling that they're not actually trying to get up or escape?
The stalling by definition is avoiding wrestling, avoiding active wrestling, and it is it is a totally subjective situation. But in this position, when we're mat wrestling, if the bottom man is just kind of not trying to get away, he's got his head buried on the mat, that's going to be stalling. If the top guy is just riding right behind and not looking for turn, that's a stall. You can see here with 53 seconds left, Grow let his opponent up, giving him a point, wants to wrestle from his feet. Again, why not? He's got a great snap. He's had a great single leg. You can see this wrestler's really leading his left leg. He's on a shot, though, first, and Grow needs to keep – he's doing a great job in his shot defense, getting his hip down. He needs to drop that head and get behind. He's got 30 seconds to score. He's looking for a pin here.
Yeah.
Looking to horse him. And you know what? It's going to happen.
Into a half.
Boy, if he gets his hips down, this is going to be 6. He's got 23 seconds to get this pin. He's got to get his hip down. He's doing everything he can to get his hip down. He's a little high. It looks like that far shoulders us up a little bit. 14 seconds. And there it is. I was just about to say, if you're Lodi, you're watching that clock saying, can he just keep his shoulder up for 9 more seconds? And Grow was able to get the pin there.
And he gets that pin coming off the Napleton 151 takedown of the match there. And that's another win to add to his kind of storied legacy here at Beaver Dam.
Yeah, I mean, he hit the 100 win club just a couple weeks ago, so has had a lot of success, and that comes again from his work ethic and the work he's done to improve his body. And I mean, look at him. He just dropped his straps off his singlet, and he's as put together as anybody. And that showed in a match like that where guys in a shot defense, and we just go to an underhook and just drive him down. So he's done a great job there.
Well, we see a lot of these guys that are at the heavier points for Beaver Dam. I've noticed they are so strong. Is that just from a lot of these practices feeding off of that, competing with one another? Yeah. Is that what this is, just building that skill set?
Yeah, and again, the Grow boys have wrestled a lot.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of time on the mat, and it comes with experience. So, wrestling is open to anybody. You see a lot of guys with various levels of experience, but, as I mentioned earlier, there's a ever-widening gap between the very top and the middle, and that is a lot to do with the off-season wrestling that has really evolved over the last few years. Now, this is Malachi Richter Horton wrestling at heavyweight, takes a shot in on this leg, and he's got a good grip on it. He had a good shot on it. Lodi is doing a great job defending here. This is Austin Brown. He's a sophomore coming in at 5-9 on the season. Malachi, I like him being aggressive there and taking a shot. We just got caught underneath, and when you're a little bit undersized,
giving up a lot of weight,
you're a little bit undersized at heavyweight. What you don't want to do is get caught underneath people, and that's tough. But to his point, hey, he got an escape, so it's 3-1. So damage is
minimized,
absolutely. And now we have an opportunity to go out and score back on our feet. A minute left, takes a nice shot. He's got to keep his head up on a shot. Got to keep his head up. This is a scramble situation. He's got to get his hips back up. He's got to circle the corner. Just keep circling that corner. I know Lodi's got to, but he gave up on the whizzer. We got to keep circling corner, keep coming around the hip.
There
nice job, Malachi. He just stayed with it and got the takedown. So he's got a 4-3 advantage with 35 seconds left in this first period.
When you saw both of those shots from him, too, he gets in there deep. It's just a matter of finishing. You said keeping that head up, dwell there.
And again, I liken this a lot to football. Like if you're going to tackle somebody, you got to keep your head up, right? Not only will you, if your head's down, you'll miss them, right? But you're going to get hurt. Well, in wrestling, if you're looking for a single leg or double leg, when you're trying to finish, you have to keep your head up. Now that one's tough. Gave up an escape with 11 seconds left. Anytime you're in that short time period, you hate to give up an escape, but you know, Malachi's wrestling tough, and it's a 4-4 match. So after one period, it's even. And if you're Beaver Dam, you like where we're at. We've been the aggressor here. He's got a good shot. If he can get another, he's shown he can get away. Now, Beaver Dam had the choice there. They're going neutral rather than wrestling underneath. He's got a shot that he's been able to score on. He's just got to keep his head up and keep circling, keep moving. Don't get stuck underneath.
My question for you now is, the longer as this match goes on, is that size disadvantage play into his favor, that he might be in a little better shape, or is it going to go the other way?
It can go either way. You know, I would say if the bigger wrestler's leaning on you and really weighting you down, I think the longer the match goes, advantage that person. But in this case, Malachi's really avoided that. He's wrestled on the edges a little bit. He was in the top position for a while. They've wrestled from the feet. So I think in this case, you like Malachi's chances, but he's got to stay aggressive. We can't get content with, hey, we took 2 shots and one of them. That's a nice shot there. He's got to stay with it. Cuts down. He's got to keep coming over.
Head out.
Bring your right arm over the top of that hip to get that takedown. Don't want to keep sitting. You got to keep coming out. Get your right arm over the top, and that's takedown. 3 points. It's going to be 7-4. And now with a minute left, you can't give up this roll.
Oh, no.
And that's tough. And that's tough. And you know, and that is one of the advantages to having the bigger wrestler is those kind of leverage points certainly come into play. But here's the thing, and I know Malachi is really upset and dejected, and I get that. But he wrestled pretty well, and he had some nice shots, and he was able to get a couple takedowns there, and just got a little high in our ride there, which that happens. But there's things to build on there. There's good positive things, and you know, if I'm coach, you know, that's something we talk about. Like, hey, yeah, we got the roll, and this is how we fix that. But offensively, we were able to get to our shot, and that's important.
It's one of those, like, to your point, there's not going to be like too many moral victories in this immediate moment after. But when you look back and reflect on that match, he had 3 shots. He got in there deep. He looked like a very competitive wrestler there.
Absolutely. And so this is where Lodi is looking to make some hay here. So we've made the switch over to 106. Preston Hammond for the Beavers is out there, and Preston's been a nice mainstay in their lineup, but he's out there with a really tough matchup here. Owen Deshort, 15-2 sophomore coming in on the season, and just finished 9th at the bi-state. So this is a very accomplished wrestler. And you can just look at him. You just look at how he's in his stance, how he's preparing. You know this kid's a very confident wrestler, and has a nice go behind there, a nice quick go behind, very smooth there. And this will be a wrestler that I know Lodi will be looking at, not only getting to the state tournament in late February and March, but looking to get on that podium. He's just a real solid wrestler. So this is a tough matchup for Preston, but the one thing I like about Preston is when it comes to wrestling on the mat, he goes out and battles with everybody. You know, so he's giving up this cradle here, but look, you know, he's in a nice bridge there. He's battling in there, trying to keep those shoulders up. Again, he knows it's a tough matchup, but he a lot of times last year when we were watching him, he was undersized and had a lot of tough matchups because he was so much undersized compared to his opponents, even at 106 pounds. And he just battles. We'll see what happened here. It's a 5-point near fall, so the match had to be stopped. It looks like there must be a blood situation, and that's what's going on here. So anytime blood comes into the equation, the match is stopped. So he did not give up a pin. He got Lodi got 4 points near fall there because he kept him there for 4 swipes. But because the match had to be stopped, he gets an additional 1 point near fall.
Wow, did not know that.
So a 5-point near fall. This came in back in the late 90s, this extra near fall thing, because you had some individuals who were getting pinned that would say they couldn't breathe, maybe they were in a choke, and then just happen to bounce up. And so the rules makers out there said, no. If this
Enough
is what
of
we're
this.
stopping, we're going to give the extra point, which is an advantage. And I'm not saying that's at all what happened here. Obviously, there was blood. That's a totally unique situation. But that's where this rule comes in play. So 32 seconds left in the match. It's 8-0 in favor of Lodi. And again, Preston's just got to keep his back off the mat. You can give up near fall. You can't give up a pin here. And realistically, you're down 8. You just keep battling here, looking to chip away at points. He's stopped the near fall attempt here, so he's going to go into the second period here, down 8. So what can you do? Can you chip away a takedown here, an escape here, a reversal? Can you chip away a couple points, keep this thing close, and then see what happens in the third period?
Well, and that was a huge McKinstry's home furnishing timeout there for him.
Blood timeout, yeah.
Blood timeout as we got, at that point, he was in a tough spot with probably about 45 seconds left. With that outside cradle locked in, now has an opportunity to start the second period on top.
Yeah, and again, very similar to what happened earlier in the match. You know, you got taken down, you got ridden out and turned, so you might as well try to ride and see what happens. And again, very strong wrestler here. Switch right off the whistle. Gets a reversal now, makes it 10-0 with a minute 40 left in the second period. And now Preston's going to get called for stalling. That is one of the stall calls I don't like, because you're being outmatched. You're kind of being out physical, and there's not a lot you can do, and you get the stall call. But
it's like I literally can't help you. Like, what do you want me to do?
Again, Ron is an official I've known for a long time. He's a state level official, good official. Stalling is subjective, but it is also black and white. If you're not wrestling, you're going to get hit. So, and this is a tough, very tight situation with just over a minute left. Again, we're near fall points are going to be given here. He's likely got his 4 points near fall. So, again, just stay off your back. Don't give up the pin. Get back to your belly. Live to fight another day. And there's the 4 points, so it is 14-0 with 46 seconds left in the second period. Again, Hammond can give up a point and give up the tech fall, and the Beavers would be happy here.
Is this where you say, you know what, I am going to stall, do whatever I can to get out of this?
You know, you want to always see your guys fight, and again, you'd love to see him be able to chip away, but you don't want him to give up a pin. And I didn't see the official swipe, so I don't know if near fall is coming, and there's the pin. So just like that, we're heading to 113 pounds, and the Beaver Dam lead is 21-16.
Isn't it? Is it 21-16? I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be 17 or not. I might have missed one there. I'm in charge of the scoreboard over here, unfortunately. 60. All right, we're going down one, everybody watching at home. Wondering what Wally's doing. There you go. It's now 21-16 here at Beaver Dam High School as Lodi, the Blue Devils, are here. 113 coming up now.
So Nolan Allen, a freshman, 4-8 for Lodi, coming in against Liam Surface, a freshman, 8-13 coming into the match. So two freshmen getting after it again. Both smaller guys, both probably could be down at 113 pounds. So you see a lot of freshmen, and this should be a good one. And again, it's going to come down to who's more aggressive and who stays in good positioning. You know, again, you can have all the great shots, you can have all these great reversals and escapes. However, it's about when you talk about winning tight matches, is who stays in better position, who gives up that corner, who gives up a hip, stay in good position. I know that's boring, but that ultimately is going to pay dividends. So you see two guys scrapping here. Neither one of them's got an advantage. You see both of them on a hip. Both of them are kind of in a position of, you know, what the heck is this? But Lodi's going to try to come up through those legs and bring him up. Surface doing a great job in a sprawl, and that's what really turned it there. He got his back arch, his legs back, Too bad he couldn't pin the shoulder to get the turn. And a big throw there by Surface to his back. Just a little trip, hip shot to a trip to his back. So that's three takedown, and then 3 more near fall makes it 6-0 with 32 seconds left in the first period.
Now, how the back points go there, is it a time system for the referee?
Swipes,
just
so
pure swipes.
3 swipes is 3, 4 swipes is 4, 2 swipes. I should have started there. Sorry, I should learn from all the learning blocks I've been watching at home. 2 swipes are 2, 3 swipes are 3, 4 swipes are 4.
No, we do our number counting here.
Yeah.
Apparently,
right.
I'm not doing a good job. Oh, it is 17. Look at that. This guy does it.
Again, it's not the first time, won't be the last time that I'm wrong. I should probably pay attention.
No, I'm just happy I had the score. I was like, man, I think I'm losing it over here, Ryan.
There's probably somebody out there that's been saying, I've been saying, if this guy would, what match is he watching? And now they're absolutely right. Hey, so we're going back to our feet second period. We're choosing neutral because people like to watch takedowns. They like to see scoring, so let's get after it. Beaver Dam, Liam Surface has a 6-0 lead going into the second period. And this is just hand control, fighting, battling for inside position, just pulling down to the mat. 2 young guys just scrapping for position. Again, who's going to be the first person to give up the corner? Who's going to give up that positioning? Again, staying in good position, staying in front of the wrestler, not giving up cheap takedowns. Again, a shot to a double leg, but you notice, Wally, where his head was, he was pointing down, and you notice he wasn't able to get his hips underneath him. His whole body was moving down into the mat, so he wasn't able to get any strength to come back up, and now he's battling. He got 2 hands on that leg, which you like. Lodi's doing a nice job in their sprawl. They're blocking those hips to create space there, and we're into a stalemate there. So again, took a shot, but we got to keep our head up. We got to get our hips underneath us, and we're going to have a better opportunity to score.
Once you do take that shot and your head is stuck down there and your opponent's in that sprawl position, what do you do as like Beaver Dam here to get your head out and get behind?
You spend hours in the practice room training the different scenarios, the different situations. It really depends on where you are, where your opponent's at, where your hips are. Can you cut that corner? Can you circle up? We always like to continue. If we get stuck underneath right in front, we like to get up on our toes and run that circle. Either you're going to hit that circle and get a takedown or get around for a takedown, or you're going to end up back up your feet, which we want to be anyways.
Sure.
You just can't sit. Now, this is a nice shot on a single leg by the Lodi wrestler. Surface is caught on a hip, but what he's doing a nice job of, he's got a tight waist there. He had him on a hip there, and he's got to continue to put him on a hip, but he's running. He's got to get his hips out. He's got to circle his hips, his butt out to get leverage, and now it's 4 seconds left. Nothing's changed here, and this is a unique spot, but no takedowns awarded. Both guys did a nice job continuing to wrestle there. Surface did a great job holding on in his defense with that tight waist and continue to scoot his butt out, staying away. And a couple more seconds, maybe you have a takedown there himself. And hey, here we go. Third period, we're wrestling from our feet again. I love this.
Now in that position, though, as we just saw him down there, it's got to be so uncomfortable where you are sitting on the mat, your back is facing that way, to stay patient, to keep playing defense instead of just flipping to your stomach and trying to get up again.
Yeah, it's especially when you're in front of the big crowd with the lights dimmed in here and you're on your hip and you're battling in bad position, that's tough. But that's why you spend so much time in the practice room working on those scenarios. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Amen.
And you have to be, your coaches have to put you in situations where you start in bad position and have to wrestle into good position. Nice shot on here again, head down on the mat. When we're stuck here, we need to face our opponent. I always like to switch to one leg here, go from the double leg to the single leg. Now we're stuck on our hips. Can't score from our hips here. We've got to get off our hips here. But what we can't give up is an arm bar here and get turned. So he's got to keep moving his hips. He's not taken down yet. Keep moving your hips. Don't sit.
49 seconds now.
And there he goes. He's got back up to his hips. He's gotten, so the match was stopped there. He got his arm caught behind his back. That arm was approaching, going beyond 90 degrees. That's a potentially dangerous situation, so the official stopped it. 39 seconds here. You would like, if you're Beaver Dam, to get a takedown here to get into a major decision situation. And he's been the aggressor. He's been on a shot, but it's got to be a good shot. Got to keep your head up, get your hips underneath you.
Well, the only time we've really seen him in trouble is after those shots where his head's down and maybe not knowing what to do in that next spot. So
Now Lodi comes. Shot. Yeah, they take a shot, and again, they're not out of this by any means. They can continue to score, and that's going to be a takedown on the edge of the map. And here's the difference in the position again. Who gives up that position? He got a takedown. We went to our side, went to our hip. Initially, Surface had that whizzer, which would have been an arm hook. He let that go, and as soon as that happened, that's when the takedown was awarded. So 12 seconds left here. It is 6-3. They might have to put some time back on the clock, which won't be a lot. If you're Lodi here, you need to come up with 3 points. So you're probably looking for a tilt. Try to get a 2-on-1 from the top position, roll them through. That right there isn't going to get it done to get 3 points. But a cradle will.
5 seconds.
And he did not break the plane. So Surface was able to hang on and win that match 6-3. And that's a big win for the Golden Beavers.
And so what was that? You just said that why that wasn't awarded for the near fall?
He didn't break the plane of 45 degrees in order to give the...
Man, that had to be 46 degrees right there.
It was close.
That was tight.
I'm not looking up to see who this is, but I love the intro music. Really, this is what we're coming out to. Like, these boys from Beaver Dam have some great walk-up
throwbacks too.
I'm making the call right now. Coach Wilkie and that baseball staff, because they do walk-up music too. The bar has been set.
Wow.
This team has some great walk-up music. So, Coach Eberly, get ready because we got to pick some songs.
That's a public challenge if I've ever heard one.
That's a public challenge. Yeah. This will be Landon Johnson for Beaver Dam coming out at 120 pounds, and he's going to be wrestling Briar Caves, a sophomore. Caves is 14-4 coming into the season, was a sectional qualifier a year ago down at 106 pounds, and just recently finished 9th at the Bi-State. And yes, I am coming up with that all out of my head. I don't have any notes at all.
I completely believe you.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it.
Yeah. He's in a nice single leg, but Johnson's doing a great job in his single defense. He's got a whizzer. He's controlling hip hands. What he needs to do is get his head inside on his opponent's headgear there. That would have created a little bit of separation, but he's able to break through. But he's still got the whizzer position. Now it comes down to hips. Don't step over, and he stepped over. Folks, that was a whizzer position there. You never step over a whizzer. Those things happen. He's very fortunate Lodi wasn't able to finish off the pin there. But if you're in a whizzer position, if you're a young wrestler watching that, and you're in a whizzer position hip to hip with a wrestler, you never step over a whizzer. Nothing good comes of that. And so it is now 6-0 with 46 seconds left in the match, or in the first period.
No, I have a question for you. Well, it's now at the lower weights where
there's
obviously...
another cradle.
Uh-oh.
I think I said that at the beginning of the match. You're going to see these cradles, and anytime Lodi's been in that top position, you've seen him reaching cradle. You got to keep your head up. You got to keep your knees away from your nose. That helps. But keep your head up, keep wrestling, and know that cradle's coming. Johnson's doing a nice job fighting off his back, getting out of the cradle.
Way to compete.
But they're right back on it. He's standing up here. That's potentially dangerous there. But you're 15 seconds left in this first period. You're down 10-0 already. You got to know cradle's coming. And Coach Winker just yelled it. Cradle's coming. Stay away from it. Get to your feet. Bust your hips. You got to have your hips out. Bust your hips. Kick your foot. Kick your foot. Look away and kick your foot. We're going to finish right here. No time left. It's going to be 10-0. But one benefit that does come out of that is the Lodi wrestler was around those ankles and didn't come up. Never progressed in that whole 6 seconds, 7 seconds. So he did get called for stalling. So something to keep in mind if we're able to chip away at that lead. Johnson's going to be down to start the second period. And this is a position late in that first period. He looked good. He was able to get to his feet, able to bust his hips out. He's got to get that ankle out. Again, back to her feet. Got to bust that hip. Got to get her hips out. Hips out and turn. But again, right now, he's doing all the work right now. He's got to keep busting up to his hips, or up to his feet, and he's going to make things happen. But we can't be down here.
What I wanted to ask you in that first period, and we really had a lot of action there, wasn't able to. At these lower weights where there is only X amount of pounds, a lot closer than the heavier weights, with that weight allowance that you see after the holiday season, does that benefit these guys more at the lighter weights or more at the heavy side?
Just depends on the guys. I know Beaver Dam's got some people that are going to be moving around, and a lot of teams will. I mean, it's customary that guys will use a 2-pound allowance, and if you don't know what we're talking about, after Christmas, 120 pounds really becomes 122 pounds. You get a 2-pound allowance. And that benefits anybody that's really trying to move down weight classes.
Yeah.
So with the pin, Lodi closes the gap to 24-23, a 1-point lead going into 126 pounds, and the Beavers are going to send out Hudson Henschel.
Well, and this goes back to the very beginning. I know I keep harping back to it, but the first 2 matches we saw a major decision for Lodi versus a pin for Beaver Dam, and it's that 1 point that feels so important. Beaver Dam currently with a 1-point advantage with only 4 matches left.
Correct. And again, you know, we I'm just trying to get the Lodi. Former head coach Jeff Slayton on the call tonight. Okay, so this will be Liam Johnson. He's a sophomore, 3-9 coming into this match against Hudson Henschel, who's a freshman, 15-9 coming into this matchup. Nice offensive shot there, double leg shot. He's got to keep turning the corner, and there's 3 points. So to your point, Wally, you brought it up, there's been 3 or 4 matches where the match ended early on a tech fall that could have potentially gone to a pin for both teams, right? And it just, at this point in the match, we're running out of weights. We're running out of matches to come back on. That point difference plays a huge role. It didn't seem like a big deal early on, right? It's like, well, gosh, what's he talking about? Like a difference between
like there's going to be
6.
80 points scored in this match. What's 1 point going to be?
It's 1 point, yeah, and it's huge. And again, bonus points determine matchups against evenly, face teams. As I'm totally pausing over my words here. Not much going on here. Hudson's got a leg in. He's got that left leg in, really controlling the hips. Guys that are able to ride legs are dangerous because they can score and really slow you down and beat you up on the bottom. And you can see he transitioned from that leg ride into a cradle. So taking the cradle position and throwing that back at Lodi. And now if he's got to keep that point, that toe inbounds, because he's looking to get a pin on the outside of the mat. And he looks pretty flat to me, Wally.
That looks very flat. He's got to be careful to stay in.
Oh, he came off.
He did. It was
the ref
close.
Missed it. So, guys kicking through, did a nice job fighting. The only thing you could say there is maybe Henschel can get his other leg up and lock that other leg down to keep it from kicking. But again, he had him flat. But we're not down on the mat, and I trust this official's judgment there. He had a better view of it than I did. But if you're the Beavers, you really would like to get 6 out of here. He's up 7-0 with time expiring. So he's up 7-0 going into the second period. You really need 6 here. Lodi's going to have choice. They're going to choose top. I don't know if you've been watching, but I wonder what they're looking for here. I don't know.
And so I was going to say, it feels like the Cradle School of Wisconsin right now.
They might be looking that way. So start with the chop and a tight waist here. Looking to return. There comes a switch right off of that, which is that is textbook. Anytime you come to your feet, you get return. That's a great opportunity to switch there. A change of pace, a move there. Great opportunity. And looking at a tilt there, trying to get some cheap near fall points there. But again, if you're going to take him to his back, you're looking for 6 here. You've got a 9-point lead with 1:30 left in the second period. He's got his leg back in, looking for a crossface. Again, got to look for opportunities to get him on his back and keep him there.
Well, and I know this is going to be a football guy talking here, but this is where that 5 versus 6 is so important too, because if you do get the pin, it's effectively a 2-possession game.
Right, and he just transitioned from that tilt into an arm bar and a cross wrist, and this is classic. This is what they were teaching this, way back when I was in school. But he didn't have it tight. He lost control of that. He's going to get the near fall, so he's up 11-0. But now we're in a position where we're still technically in control, but we're not where we want to be, and he's going to have to scramble to get back. He's going to fight through these legs to come out the back door here. But again, 11-0 with 43 seconds left in the second period. Can he, first of all, get back to control, and then how do you put yourself in position to score? This is going to be a stalemate. As opposed to stalling, stalemate means both wrestlers can't move. You're not going to penalize either one.
Absolutely. 11-0 here, 32 seconds left in the second period.
So I was saying, how do you get back to control? Well, I guess you get a stalemate, so you start over. I
That helps, right?
Yeah, that helps. Any way possible. He does a nice job locking up a cradle, knocking him down to a hip, putting him right in his back. But he's got 16 seconds. He didn't have it tight again. So he's going to have 4 near falls, so 15. But then, and that's going to stop it because, again, the points don't come. Again, that moves so fast. So you got the 4-point near fall where he was up 11-0. That moves it to 15-0. That comes before the reversal. So the match stops.
So technically that scored 15-0 even though he would have got the reverse.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It's like my wife says when we play cribbage, hey, I beat you. You don't get to count your points later.
Well, I'm telling you, this is why being next to Ryan Gerber right now is awesome. I wrestled in school, and I feel like I don't know anything when I'm sitting next to you.
And now, so it's 29-23 again, that bonus point. We'll see if that comes back. The nice thing, if you're Beaver Dam, is you got a hammer in waiting, and that guy's coming out. That's Avery Femright coming out for the Beavers.
And with only 3 matches left, 6 points here would go a very long way for the Golden Beavers.
So for Lodi, you have Xander Kellogg. He's a junior, 8-6 coming in. He was a section qualifier last year for Lodi at 120 pounds. He's taking on Avery Femright. And Femright obviously was a 6th-place finisher last year at the state tournament, made the podium, 22-4 on the season so far, has finished 5th place last weekend at the bi-state. But he's in a little bit of trouble here. He gave up a shot early, went to more than just the hip, went to his side, but you can see he's done enough to work the edge, stay with it, get his hands active. He's looking to try to set up some sort of cradle, but Lodi's doing a great job staying in position. But as you can see, the ref extending his arms out like that. He's not just pretending to be an eagle there. He's showing that there's no control here by either wrestler, so he's not awarding points. And he does that. He's actually mandated to make that call or that sign to show both coaches that, hey, no control has been given so far. And it's really who can get to the corner first, and Femright gets to the corner, and he's in control. So that series there pretty much took the better part of a minute, 3-0.
Oh, there you go. Oh, had him on his back for a second.
Still looking for cradle, working inside. This is a situation looking for a 3/4 Nelson. So the Lodi wrestler leaned in, head down. That's 3/4 Nelson. Avery wasn't able to get it. Tried to go with a neck wrench, which old school wrestlers will recognize a neck wrench. That's out of the school of 1975 and it's still effective. And then got the escape. Lodi got the escape. So it's 3-1 with 20 ticks left in the first period here. Let's see if one of these guys can get on a shot and score here. Femright's doing a nice job on the head, just snapping the head and spinning here. Lodi's doing a nice job staying with, but gave up a trip there. And that's not only 3 points takedown, but he's going to get near fall points there. That's going to be 4 more. And all of a sudden, this match went from a 3-1 match to a 13-1 match. And I don't know. I don't know.
It's at least 10-1. I know that.
It should be 10-1. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. It's back.
I love the enthusiasm by the scorer's table, but I got my number blocks out here. I'm counting with my fingers and toes. It didn't add up.
I was going to say, and plus you're on top of that. You've got your papers. You're watching the match. You've got like 9 things going on. You look over at that scoreboard. You're just hoping it's right.
Yeah. So Lodi is going to be down here. Femrite's going to ride. Again, you're up 10-1, so you have a 9-point advantage. So can you get to that cradle again that he's had a few times, or can you get to an armbar to get to a turn, keep him on his back, get a pin? This is the second time Lodi's gone to a roll. This is a little bit more of an elegant roll than we saw at heavyweight, but a nice little Peterson there to get a reversal. But then Femrite comes right back, chain wrestles, and puts this kid right to his back. Not only a reversal, but he's getting near fall points here.
Over a minute and a half left still in the second period at 1:32.
So 12-3 with a minute 25. And as you just heard Coach Winker yell, don't force it. And we've seen some of the Golden Beavers be able to force moves tonight and be successful. We've also seen some situations where they weren't. Again, a lot of times in these tight matches, you often see a guy who's in an advantageous spot maybe try to force a power move that's not there and get themselves in trouble, which you don't want that. Of course, you'll take it if it works, right? But you want to stay in good position. You want to stay with the good technique. You want to stay within yourself. Avery's got enough tools here that he can get a turn and get back points. He's just controlling right now. He's just kind of following in a nice controlled ride. There's the 3/4 Nelson that he's trying to hook up again. His opponent's not giving that up. Sat back. Nice job. He's looking for hand control on the waist. Femrite's doing a great job controlling that left arm, really preventing Lodi from really making any kind of step up. You can see he's pulling on that arm like a chain. He's really pulling that down, keeping the momentum down on the mat. That's not a lot of fun.
No.
I was just going to say.
You mentioned the feeling of feeling like you're in a car accident. It's because of things like that right there.
Right. You can wrestle one match and feel like, boy, what happened to me? But a nice little tilt here. He's got his opponent nice in the basket there, in his hips there. He's controlling. He's going to have near fall there with 10 seconds left. It looks like 4, so it's going to be 16-3 coming out of this. And he's going to let him go with 3 seconds left, so it's going to be 16-4 going into the third period. So a 12-point advantage. Let's see where, and Lodi's going to choose, or whose choice? Lodi's going to choose top. Again, it makes sense. You've been taken down. You've been turned. Let's try top. I wonder. I don't really know. I wonder what they're looking for on top.
Well, plus up 12 here. If you get that escape, you're just a takedown away from a tech fall here.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned it earlier, the strategy of whether you choose down or top. You choose top if you're a strong rider, you have some turns, like a cradle, like legs. But in this situation, you've been beaten in the other two positions. Why not give it a shot, and you chip away? And right now he's doing a nice job. He's ridden him out for 30 seconds. It's a 12-0 match, so you're not, and then you just give up position there. That's a reversal and near fall. Femrite's out of position here. This is going to be very difficult to pin from. And he's going to step over, holding it, and the official's going to say it's a different move. He's going to stop it, and that's a tech fall. So again, another 5-point go on the scoreboard for Beaver Dam as opposed to the 6. And that brings us to 138. 2 matches left in the dual meet. Beavers are up 11 points.
So still within arm's distance, but you need at least 5 here if you're the Blue Devils. I'm trying to get the score right. There we go. We're back.
And so obviously, if you're Beaver Dam and if you're scoreboard watching, 2 pins, giving up 2 pins is the difference in the match, right? So you can't give up a pin in these matches. So Caden Recheck for the Beavers going out there. sophomore for the Golden Beavers, against Hayden Struess-Clark of Lodi, coming in at 6'4", junior, and he gets a quick takedown. 19 seconds into the match, it's 3-0. Again, for the Beavers, you can't give up pins in your last 2 matches here. You can give up 1, you can't give up 2. Again, tough sledding here, but that's the arithmetic, and they give up a pin. So now, for the Beavers, you have a 5-point lead going into the last match of the night at 144.
And a tech fall would tie it. A pin wins it. Anything short of that, the Golden Beavers will come out on top tonight.
And the Beavers are going to go with a veteran wrestler here at 144, junior Ryland Burwitz.
What another song, man.
I gotta, growing up as a Yankee fan, and I just made half of our audience turn off the TV, but Mo Rivera coming into the 9th inning to shut the door.
Best ever.
You love to see it. Now he's just got to perform. I don't know if he has a cutter in his back pocket here, but he's got to come up with something. Got to get a win here. A win for the Beaver Dam. Just a decision seals the match. Okay, and so for Lodi, Jackson Ladwig, who's a sophomore, 3-10 coming into this match, versus Ryland Burwitz, and we're back into the wizard position. You do. That's coach.
Heart drop.
Submarining in that situation. Let's just stay in a wizard position. Let's stay in good position because he has the takedown. We don't need to force anything crazy here. He's in wizard position there. Just get to the takedown. Just trip. Get to offense here. Take him back to the mat. We're up 3-0. We don't need any submarining. We don't need anything flashy. Again, I've talked about it a number of different times tonight. In tight matches like this, it comes down to positioning, and just keep them in front of you. If you're in the top position, get to a chop, get to a tight waist, grind them down to the mat, and look for those arm bars and tilts. He's going to trip there. You'll notice that Burwitz is doing a nice job controlling that wrist. That's a quick stall call. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a quick stall call. But it's a stall call, so Burwitz is going to have to be very active getting a stall call with 1:21 left in the match. And he's going to get that call because, well, I guess the official was saying he just rode him out. You can't push a guy off the mat, but here you go. So, wrestle, right? You're on top. Yep. He doesn't have a tight arm bar at all, but he's got that arm pinned. He's got the half. He's getting near fall. He's got the turn. Let's stay right here. Get that arm bar back. Get a crossface. He's hooking the head. Let's get a crossface. He's going to step over. Near fall here. He's got to arch his back a bit. He arches his back. That'll pop that shoulder down. Looks pretty flat, but official's got a better view of it than I do. That's tough, but he's going to get 4 points near fall. He's got a leg in. That's not the best leg because he's not hooking a leg there, but he's in control. He's a little high. He's got to pop the arms forward. Pop the arms forward to take him off balance. You got to arch your back. That's rough. He's going to give up the reversal there. Again, just got caught out of position. Got the leg across the torso rather than through the leg, so he's in a tough position coming out of that turn. And again, ref had a better look of that near fall situation than we did, but he looked pretty flat. But here we go, 4.6 seconds. Ryland's up 7-2 in the last match of the duel. See if he can get an explosive escape here. And
well, not there, not this time.
That's okay too. We're going to the second period. So it's going to be Beaver Dam's choice. They're going to defer because they want to see what they're going to have in the third period here.
Make Marine Park Technical College your first choice for an education tailored to your success and growth with campuses in Beaver Dam, Fond du Lac, and West Bend. Visit marinepark.edu/first choice.
In Wally, Beaver Dam deferred. Lodi chose top. Again, there's a method to the madness here. Now, this wrestler here looking across arm, trying to go more of a power turn as opposed to what we've seen with the cradle so far. But keep in mind, he's got a cradle there as well. So We have to fight off. We've got to fight those arms off. We've got to get back to our hips. Looking for, some guys call this a butcher, some call it a zipper, some call it a bundle of arms, whatever you call it. He's trying to take a cross face and turn that shoulder down to get near fall. Berwitz has to continue to keep fighting, and it's not a fun position. It's a lot of pressure on the upper body there. Got to get that arm free. Got to get that left arm free, get back to your belly, get flat. He cannot get caught here.
A pin would win this match for Lodi.
A minute to go in the period, so a lot of time here. And he gives up the pin. And that's a tough beat. That's a tough one. You know, Golden Beavers had momentum and points throughout. Lodi got the points where they needed them, and coming into the last match, Beaver Dam jumped out to a lead and just got stuck out of position there.
Just a couple inches away from the pin of their own in the first period. Instead, it goes to Lodi in the second. We are going to step aside now for 3-4 minutes before we come back and talk more with Ryan Gerber, potentially have an interview with Coach Winker. We will see. But you are watching Beaver Dam High School Sports on Daily Dodge TV.
Play garage music. Silica can make any home a smart home. Whole home wiring, speakers, and smart control make your home an oasis that anticipates your every need. Whether you're seeking comfort, entertainment, peace of mind, inspiration, or just a moment of tranquility. Existing or new construction, Silica has the skill to make any home a smart home. Silica for your home.
Jerry's Automotive in Beaver Dam is a champion of our local schools. Team up with Jerry's Automotive by pumping your gas at their Spirit Pump, where 2 cents of every gallon is donated to a local school each month. Jerry's Automotive also provides exceptional vehicle service and repairs and a great selection of convenience items. Visit Jerry's Automotive Center WI.com and on Facebook. Jerry's Automotive, 700 North Spring Street in Beaver Dam, across the street from Beaver Dam Food Pride.
The gang's all here. Chris,
Adam,
and Abby Klodowski here to say Klodowski Real Estate is honored and grateful to have been voted Dodge County's best real estate firm, best realtor, and favorite realtor for 2024.
We love living and working in Dodge County, all of the wonderful people we serve, and the opportunity to give back to our community.
Thank you, Dodge County. Thank you.
Klodowski Real Estate, your trusted real estate advisors.
When it comes to a winning lineup, turn to the selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam. Their team goes the extra mile to provide a winning experience, from hassle-free financing options to exceptional customer service. It's like having a dedicated cheering section cheering you on in every step of the vehicle purchase. Give the team at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam a call at 920-885-3301 or visit napleton151.com and find new roads with their winning inventory.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Stop in and see everything that our store has to offer. We built it just for you. We have mattresses, box springs, power bases, bedroom sets, furniture, living room sets, dining sets, everything that you would need to complete your entire home. We've got our interest-free financing and a really great local staff here to help you. So you've got all local people here to help you out from start to finish for anything that you would need. So stop in, shop local, and save big with us.
White Construction is cheering on our student athletes in the community, and they want you on their winning team too. They're expanding and looking for passionate individuals who want to build their future as a team. Join a company that values teamwork, excellence, and community spirit. They're now hiring for multiple positions around Wisconsin, including general labor, fieldwork, and heavy equipment operators. Visit congruix.com to apply today and step up to the plate with White Construction. Let's build something great together.
Welcome back to Beaver Dam High School. We just watched the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers fall 1 point shy of the Lodi Blue Devils, 35-34. Ryan, tough one to swallow here tonight, but a lot of positive things out there as well.
Yeah, it's super tough. You never like to lose in front of your home fans, and look, the homestand this year with Milton on the schedule and Lodi here. It's been a tough sled. They had the advantage throughout the duel. You don't like to pin it on one guy because, again, look, how many times did we talk about it in the match? It comes down to bonus points. Instead of getting 5, getting 6. Instead of just getting a decision, you get that bonus point. Bonus points are so important, and the team that takes advantage of those oftentimes comes out front. So it's a tough beat. It's a tough loss. I thought Ryland wrestled well in that first period, so yeah, he got pinned, but this one isn't all on him.
Not at all.
Not at all. This is a team effort, and there's a lot of opportunities out there. But like you said, there are some bright spots, and there were guys that wrestled well. I really liked what Liam Surface did out there, holding on to win at 113 pounds, very aggressive tonight. I thought Hudson Henschel was really tough offensively. Avery looked silky smooth out there, just wrestled with a lot of control. And then the bigs, you look at Landon Groh, showed some power, got a pin early in the match. Mason Groh continued to be on a rampage.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's positives in there. There's things that you're going to see guys continue to contribute this year, and guys are going to learn. But here's the thing. You didn't just lose to any school. You lost to Lodi. That's a tough team. That's a well-coached team. And as much as you wanted to win that and you had an opportunity, you just fell a little short. So, hey, you got to rebound. They're going to be wrestling this weekend. So you find a way to bounce back. You find a way to get better, and you work on the things that you didn't execute tonight. And, hey, you live to wrestle another day.
And this is – oh, sorry. You go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, you want to win these matches, but it's all a build to February.
Mm-hmm.
And so guys have a loss here, a big win there. What did you learn from it? And as a coach used to tell me all the time, what did you do today to make yourself better tomorrow? You can go out and win in 20 seconds. Did you get better? I'm not sure. So, again, it's tough, but you got to have a short memory. Practice tomorrow is 3:30. We're going to get after, we're going to grind, we're going to get better, and we're going to get ready for this weekend.
I was just going to say it's a litmus test when you go up against a program like Lodi and legitimately probably an inch away, maybe not even that, from getting that pin that last match. Plenty of opportunities throughout. They're that close from winning this outright duel today. So there is so much to be excited for, a lot of optimism coming out of this as well.
Yeah. And again, this was non-conference. This is a good rivalry between the two programs. It does nothing in terms of that conference title chase. So you still got everything in front of you. You're not going to see Lodi in the postseason. So again, what can you do? What can you gain from tonight? What can you learn from tonight to make yourself better? And quite frankly, if I'm Coach Winker, I hope these guys have a little bit of a sour taste in their mouths that makes them very, very dangerous with their next opponent.
You hear it all the time. Sometimes a loss like this can be the best thing for you in the long run. Hopefully the Golden Beavers are able to make that happen. Again, I was joined again by Ryan Gerber, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that just seems to be spewing wrestling knowledge left and right.
I'm not sure about it.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, that's a fact. So, Ryan, I have to thank you, as always, for letting me sit next to you and talk a little bit of wrestling tonight.
I'm just happy you came back from Pennsylvania to do this with me again. I thought I scared you off. So
You're stuck with me, guys. You and Beaver Dam. You're going to be hoping that Ryan pushes me out of town here before long. But thank you, Ryan. The high school sports on Daily Dodge TV is presented by Columbus Family Dental, Hometown Glass and Improvement, and Beaver Dam Unified School District. It's also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Columbus Family Dental, Hometown Glass and Improvement, Kladowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Pizza Ranch, Park Village Shopping Center, Richards Insurance, Preferred Dental Partners, Napleton 151, Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly, Gruber Law, Air Care, Jerry's BP, Silica For-Your Home, Moraine Park Technical College, Beaver Dam Unified School District, White Construction, and Spartan Flooring. Beaver Dam High School, home to more youth apprenticeship programs and advanced course opportunities than any other comparable high school in our region. As part of that recipe for excellence, students at BDHS have access to more than 40 college-level courses through their award-winning participation in AP College Board. Their partnership with the UW system enriched dual credit programming with neighboring MPTC at Beaver Dam High School. Students don't just earn a diploma, they get access to a great jumpstart on their future. One more time tonight, looking at the Gruber Law Office One Call That's All scoreboard. Lodi Blue Devils come out on top tonight in a tight one, 35-34 over the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers. We thank you guys so much for tuning in to Daily Dodge TV tonight to watch Beaver Dam Wrestling. Jam-packed week and, honestly, entire season of sports here for the program. You'll be hearing a lot more of me, Corey Sparks, Wade Bates. My English teacher would hate the way I just said that. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We hope you have a great night, everybody. We'll see you soon.